Hello, it is Monday, January 23rd, and going over the futures markets right now. So starting off here on the S&P 500, you can see what we had from last week where we had the scalping trade set up right here and price just rocketed through it. Nothing came back, got us out of anything. But came down here to at least the 2.618, which is the extreme move that we see when it does happen. This is level where it's kind of the line in the sand holding ground for price to start bouncing around on. And it happened here. It did go down obviously lower. I mean, it went down from when the 2.618 Fibonacci extension level was hit, it went down another 29 points or so. So it still went down some, but that was kind of like the level where, as you can see, things started bouncing around and the sell-off ended. And then there was consolidation right here. And so about up through right about there, we had a bunch of consolidation before market decided it wanted to move back up again. So then Friday we had a big move up, big move up, big move up, and then today right here, this is the exit we had for it. There's the 88% line, this green line right here, and that's the target we're looking for. Came up here and got hit. So in this scalping trade setup, one thing I'm doing from now on is I'm just waiting until it gets down to the 2.618 level. I had been trading it, up from the 88 up for scalping, even the 1.272. But after seeing this, I'm just going to wait until this one of these happens. It happens about once every 2 weeks or so, from what I've seen, maybe a little bit more than that, but at least once every 2 weeks you get a big move where a scalping setup doesn't get hit, and from there, because I mean, look at this. If you had gotten in at 2.618, rode it all the way at least to the 100% line, that's 60 plus points right there. So that's the way to go for that one, rather than trying to, for myself, I'm mainly talking to myself, trying to get in at the 88 out of the 66 and stuff like that. Yeah, when it's a range bound market, yeah, that's great doing that. But eventually you will get one of these huge move downs right here, and it's very tough to go through if you're stuck in it. So just wait to the 2.618 and take your profits up here. And so that one went and got hit. So that one is said and done. And then last week I mentioned a new setup that I have been looking for, and basically it incorporates the EMAs, the red line and the blue line right here. I think last week I was using SMAs, this week just EMAs, because this alert right here has a crossover where you see the little triangle right here. It means the 250 crossed over the 800, and if you see the green one like right here, it means the 250 has crossed above the 800, and then 250 below the 800 right here for the red one. So what we do for that when that happens is we're looking for that. It means that the momentum is obviously in a big downtrend. So what we're expecting is price to eventually move up, hit the 30, at least hit the 38%. And then the next target would be just like kind of like the scalping trade setup. Is initially we're looking for the exit to come down here for the continued measure move. Obviously that didn't happen every time, so then we start going into the backup plans for the target exits. So blue plastic, a little bit of resistance at 38% right here. It's the kind of maroon, dark burgundy line. Move past it, passed up to the 61.8%, and still the target would still be down here at the 1.146. But then when price hits the 88.6 for this for the EMA crossover trade, the initial exit goes down to the 38% line from the 88%. But then once price hits the 1.146, which is this level right here, the opposite 1.146 way, and this is close enough for it. You can see it's pretty close to taking off of it, so I can say that's pretty close. I'm just using this box as kind of like the target level. Then we move it to the 61.8, and we leave it from there. We don't change that at all. So we are looking for here in the S&P 500. We've had this nice move from down here at 39.01 all the way up to 40.51. Yeah, so good. 150 point move, something like that. Yeah, 150 point move up there. Yep. So we've had a nice little move, but I am expecting a little bit of a pullback now for this thing to go and get hit. If price does continue to go run up some more, it would just strengthen my view that we're going to get a pullback back down here to about 39.84ish right there from this current move up right here. We do have going the opposite way a potential measured move retracement here to the upside. So what you do is when you see the crossover alert right here, There's the red crossing the blue. That's 250 crossing 800, and there's that little green triangle that shows where it happens. Just go back to the red semaphore, the closest red semaphore to it, which would be that one. And then you just keep drawing it up until you get that retracement back to the 38%. Currently, we do not have that there, so we are waiting at least to the retracement down to the 39,975, assuming that high holds up right there. And so we'll see where that goes from there. Let me redraw this one on here. And so waiting for the 61, this target area we're looking for right there, from right here to about right there. And that would also put us within the pullback range if we're going to see market pull back into there, get some support, and move up to the next target level right up there. So that's how that one looks like it's going to play out. Going over here to the 4-hour chart. Oh, looky here again. We are now in overbought territory again, because I had been talking about the past 2 weeks. You can see over here this has been completely overbought, but there was definitely divergence where price was kept moving higher, but the MFI indicator kept moving lower. So once it gets overbought, what we're looking for is some type of pullback in the market. Wins up here, down here below, meaning it's oversold. So we're looking for eventually somewhat of a pop-up. Fortunately, I never know how big or small those moves are going to be, but they're just showing us that we are looking for some type of reversal here in the market. And so normally how it goes is it goes from overbought to oversold, oversold to overbought, as you can see through the Sears overbought. Down here it goes to oversold, overbought, oversold, goes to overbought, oversold, yada, yada, yada. And this time it's gone overbought, halfway down, and back to overbought again. So it's just loading up again for another potential move lower down here. I'll move this box so we can see where the price is. See prices up here, because then we actually have more of an easier to see divergence where we have that going like that. Let me take off extended line and then take it off. Okay, try it again. There we go. So if this thing stays, somewhere around there, somewhere like that, you can see we definitely have making a higher high, or excuse me, a lower high. But in the price we have over here, we'll just take it back to this. It doesn't matter, either that candle, that candle. We have been making higher highs in the price. So we definitely have some divergence right there, assuming the MFI indicator starts rolling over here pretty soon. And we definitely have divergence here in the MFI compared to price, and so that's another reason why we are looking for a sell-off here in the S&P 500 down to the levels, at least to levels we mentioned earlier, which would be 39.83, at least 39.83 for the S&P 500 from where it's currently at 40.42. Going over to the Russell 2000, kind of same setup as the S&P 500 from last week. The black line was right here is kind of the exit, which is just south of the 88% line right there. And you can see this is scalping trade setup where, again, price just blew past all the targets to get you out of the trade for the scalpings down here to the 2.618 level. There we found the support. Then Friday bounced back up over here, and then today hit the 88% line right there to close out that scalping trade setup. So again, another reason why just wait for the 2.618 level for that one. So there goes that. Now going the other way, we do have a EMA crossover trade. You can see the crossover alert right here. So just like the SP 500, just do that. And price hadn't reached the 88% line right up here, so the exit is not down to the 38% yet. The current exit is still, or the target, sorry. Current target still 1820, but it looks like that's going to go up and get hit, which would move the target down here to up here to the 38%. And then price continues to move up to the 1.146 level right here. That moves the target back down to the 61.8%, and that's where we leave it right there. There's potential one going up here to the upside, but it hasn't had enough of a pullback, just like the SP 500, for it to get hit. So right now, the two markets running in tandem are the SP 500 and Russell 2000. Usually it's SP 500 and Dow Jones, but at least for a temporary time, that the Russell 2000 has taken its spot. And you can see over here, coming off being overbought, we had that sell-off down over here. Didn't quite get into oversold territory. Now it's popping back off again. Not divergence yet in the MFI indicator compared to price like the S&P 500 was showing. So nothing really to see there. Still kind of middle of no man's land, but still looking for price eventually to come back down, being in oversold territory since it's coming from overbought area. Going to the Dow Jones. Now Dow Jones, as far as the MFI indicator goes, is actually showing how it's supposed to look, where it goes from overbought down here to oversold. Now it's popping back off again, going back over here into overbought territory. And so it's got a little bit more to go. If you get another day up or so, then that would be an overbought territory by tomorrow. Going over here to the 5-minute chart, there is, let's see here. No, I believe this one was already, let's see here. So I'm not going to count that one because that one's messed up. There we have the crossover right there. So we take this, and let's see here. Yeah, the crossover trade got complete just like the other scalping did. This is close enough to hit the 38% line right here for me to count it, and came down here and hit the target for it for that scalping trade setup. So that one's done. But here, going over here to the upside, we just had one about an hour or so ago. There you see the green triangle right up here for the EMA crossover trade. There's the previous. Well, this one's kind of a weird one. So this is. So actually, that's not it. This is going to be it right here. You can see here's the previous red semaphore right here before we had the crossover, and there it is. So this is what we're looking for right here. There's the high. So it's bouncing off the 38% line right there. So the target we're looking for is going to be the 1.146 up here, which is right there, 33,942 for that setup. I think all the scalping setups got completed today because I was looking for them to go off the other way. Like if we take it from down here or up there to down here, we see price hit off the 61.8, which would have made the target 38% for the scalping trade, but ticked off very nicely off the 80% line, hit the 61.8% line, so that trade is done for the scalping setup. So unfortunately, I wish it just kept blowing through it, because then it would have been great to get up here and take it all the way down here to the 80% line right there. But this completed up there. So in the Dow Jones, not really too much to look for right now. Let's see over here. We have a 1 hour. Trying to see if I'm finding trades here. Oops. A 1 hour EMA crossover trade. You can see the green triangle right here. There we have the crossover. So we just take the red semaphore up to the high. There we have back off the 30% line. And then right up here is the target 1.146 level to 1.272 before it sold off. So that's kind of a perfect setup for where that happened right there. And then go down the other side. We had another crossover down here. There could be and it is in a scalping trade setup right now here on the 1 hour chart. You can see it's blown past the 38. If we hit, but the target's still down here at the 1.146, but it hits the 61.8 level at 33,933. Target comes back down here to the red line at 33,589. So it looks like there's actually more action on the 1 hour chart than there is on the 5 hour chart. Let's see how this works. So here we had a scalping trade set up, going from that high to the low. When price goes back up into 38%, we are expecting price to go down to the 1.46, but when it doesn't happen, that's when we get the scalping setups. So price hit the 61.8. There would have been the target, did not hit right off the 88 to the 61.8. So that would have completed that one right there. So unfortunately, just not a whole lot. Let's see about this one. Oh yeah, here's one. Came back down, 61.8, 88.88. It went down lower, came back up, hit 88. Yeah, so unfortunately that one is done as well down here on the Dow Jones. So just Dow Jones didn't show anything today. So that's going to be it for that one. Moving over to ye old oil. We can see it's still bumping up against being overbought. You can see there's definitely been, just like the SP 500 with oil, divergence in the MFI indicator where we have price continuing to move up while the MFI has continued to show divergence by going down. So we'll just wait and see for when oil will get more of a sell-off as well. There's a little bit one last week, but that's popped back up just like the other markets, so the money came back into it. And then going over here in the 5-minute chart, and this is going to be an EMA crossover trade right here. We have, there's the high, there's the low, there's the red dot that shows the crossover from right there. So we're looking for when price hits the 38.2%, we are looking for the exit down here to be the 77.84. It has not gone down there. And in fact, price went up, hit the 88%. So the current X is down here at the 38% line right there. If price goes up here and hits the 1.146, then we'll move the target to the 61.8 at 81.05. So definitely looking for, and it's someone is getting a little bit of sell-off right there. But the target we're looking for down here is about $80 and say 10 cents or so from where it's currently at $81.77. So that is crude oil. We do have one, I think this one actually got completed though, a crossover trade going up here to the upside, because here we had the crossover by the green dot, and we just look for the retracement. And there's the retracement down right off the 50, and then right off the target. Now it's selling off to it. So that's how that's shaping up to be. Nasdaq, let's see here. What do we got? We have a, this is a, well actually it's two different trades. It's a scalping trade setup going from the red semaphore to red semaphore, and also an EMA crossover trade when we have that. So the initial target is the same for both. Look for momentum carries to reload, carries back down right here. It did not. So for the scalping trade setup, the current exit we have down here is going to be, probably the, let's see here. Probably, yep, it's going to be the 88%. So that is, I'll just draw the black line a little bit above it. That's the target we're looking for right here. And that's where it's going to stay for the scalping trade setup. And then for the EMA crossover trade setup, we're looking for it down to the 61.8 for that one to get complete for it right there as well. So when the SP 500 decides to sell off and the Russell and everything else, Nasdaq's going to go long. So one of them's going to be the leader and take everyone else down there with it. And the Nasdaq level that we're looking at least coming down to, at least down here, down to 11.58 and 25 cents. So we are looking for, let's go here and see if it's overbought or oversold. It's kind of in the middle of no man's land. Came off from being slightly overbought, never hit the oversold level, and is still a little bit ways from hitting the overbought level for it. So yeah, we're just looking for the rest of this week, looking for a sell-off to happen. For the, down here for the Nasdaq, for the S&P, we're looking for it coming down to, where was it? Back to, I think it's about right there, wasn't it? 61.8. Yep, back down to there, 61.8, which just would have been where today's opens are, so it's really not that big of a deal. Dow Jones isn't doing anything, and then oil, we're looking for the sell-off coming back down here. Oh, which is also, oh, that's the old one right down there. But down to about $80 for oil, so yeah, that's what we're looking for. A little bit sell off in the next day or two or three for it to go down there and hit those. So anyways, that's the market for today. Thanks, bye.